I want to talk about villain stories for a moment. Now, I've noticed here lately, a lot of these villain stories have been coming out, like the villain backstories, like Disney's been doing it, and a bunch of, and it's very well known for that kind of anti-hero thing, especially like with, like we all know Batman is like an anti-hero kind of thing. And someone who is walking a shamanic hero's journey, I want to talk about from the perspective of a villain. The real villain, the actual like bad guy that everybody hates, that you know, um in all of the storylines, like the bad guy or whatever one is assumes is the bad guy, right? And they're starting to come out with these backstories as to why these villains are the way that they are. And it makes total sense to me. It really does. That vigilante, anti-hero, I consider myself something like that. But I'm talking about like the actual like villains. The really dark ones. The ones that are like mingling, that's like meddling, behind the scenes, and it's like meh, little gremlin, the little gremlin evil people. You know what I'm saying? You pick up what I'm laying down. You see what I'm saying? I'm silly, I know. Anyway, the point that I'm making is that whenever you start seeing the perspective, like, I know the people who have hurt me, and I would consider them villains, right? In the storyline, in the mind, right? But because I have learned how to see from big picture, small picture, it's big mind, small mind. And you learn that in meditation. That's one of the techniques that they teach you in meditation, is to have big mind. It's like a bigger perspective where like you can see the perspective of not only yourself, but you can detach from your perspective and be able to see the perspective of others. And then you have small mind, which is like the details, the coming into yourself and being able to look and see the details, like the details of my fingernails, the details of my ring, the details that I'm seeing on this camera of myself, like the little details that I'm seeing. That's small mind. So you got big mind and you got small mind. Both are equally as valuable. It's kind of like you've got big mind is like spirit, soul, higher self, and then you've got small mind, which is like body, self, ego, things like that. And we need both. We have that. We need all of it in order, and we need to integrate these pieces correctly to our own divine nature we need it while we can broadcast that out to the world. So anyway, back to villain story. I want you to think about some of the worst things you've ever done. Okay. Some things that you feel really guilty about. You would feel really shameful about. Something that you've done in your past that whatever comes up, comes up. I am a trauma healer. I am an emotional healer. So let's just sit with it for a moment. Pause the video if you need more time. Now, think about the things that got you there. Think about the things that led up to that event, that led up to you making that decision of where you did something that made you feel bad. There's normally reasons for all of it. There was something going on that you had to either protect yourself or protect someone else. That's the villain story. That's the villain story. Because you were either self-preserving or you were trying to preserve someone else. You were either trying to save yourself and keep yourself safe, or you were trying to save someone else and keep someone else safe. And that in turn left something on your conscience, left something on your heart that you are having a hard time getting rid of. Love that part of yourself. Find compassion for that part of yourself. Truly compassion, true forgiveness for that piece of you. Because no matter how love and light people pretend to be, we're human. And all humans are capable of some really dark shit. We are, because we're human. But we're also capable of some really good shit too. And it goes back to kind of that notion of which wolf you gonna feed. Which one you gonna feed? Which one are you gonna, and think of it too. If you take the two wolves and you've been feeding one, and then you haven't been feeding the other, and then you go to feed them both at the same time, the one that hasn't been fed in a while is going to fight tooth and nail till the death to get that piece. So you can't starve both wolves. You can't starve them. You have to feed them both. And that's true wisdom. That's where true wisdom lies, is being able to feed both aspects or all aspects of yourself. That's what duality is. That can be alchemy. That can be all of those things. But it starts with us. It starts with us. It starts learning how to forgive ourselves and forgive those who have hurt us in the past so that we can move forward. That is what Jesus was teaching about whenever he was talking about forgiveness, is learning how to forgive yourself. Because sometimes your greatest mistakes end up being your greatest gifts in the long run. And once you start identifying those aspects of yourself and truly loving them, that's how I have always found my light. That's how I've always found my light in the darkness, is because these aspects of me would bubble up. And anytime that I would try to push them down, it was like my world would get extremely chaotic. But the moment that I would actually start letting it bubble up and actually dealing with it, and actually having conversations with myself, having conversations with my spirit team, having conversations with my version of God, my conversations with my angels, my demons, my devils, my gods, my goddesses, all of it. Once I started having conversations like that and started really opening up myself of, why am I like this? Why do I do these things? Whenever you start asking yourself those questions, your mind automatically bubbles up those answers. And that's the good thing about meditation, is because once you learn different techniques of meditation and how the subconscious works and stuff, things will start to bubble up. Past events will start to bubble up. And it's not just in this lifetime. Events from previous lifetimes are going to bubble up too. And events from future lifetimes are going to bubble up. Because we're moving through time. Time is moving through us, all at the same time. All aspects of you are existing at the same time. All aspects of me are existing at the exact same time. And the only thing that we have now is the present. That's why it's called the present, because it is a present. I love y'all. I'm out. Bye.